Hello everyone and welcome back to the Health and Nutrition course organized by Dampe College of Arts and Science. Today we're going to be talking very important topic of discussion if you are uh, a person at the age of between 14 to 24. Yeah, so this is the age wherein growth spurt happens. So many things happens with regards to your growth of your limbs, growth of your height. So many things are happening. So today's discussion, without undue delay, I'll share my screen. So myself, Balachandra Jadar, College Director of Physical Education and Sports at Mandre College of Commerce, Economics and Management, Mandre, Goa. So today's topic for discussion is postural deformity. So what is a posture? What deformity can cause, and all those discussing in this class. So first to start with, what are we gonna be discussing? So firstly, the part one of this course or this session will be, and this actually session is divided into two parts. Part one will be focusing on concept of postural deformity. What is postural deformity? What basically posture is? Okay. Then later on, we will be seeing what correct posture is. Picture picture will be wherein you will be knowing what the posture looks like. Okay. Then we will be talking about standing posture, walking and sitting and lifting very precise. Okay. Then we start moving to the deformities. So starting with the round shoulder, then flat feet or flat foot we call it. Then part two of the session we will be deformities of the spine, then kyphosis, lordosis, that is scoliosis, which will be discussed in detail with along with the corrective measures or exercises which can reverse the deformities. Also knock knee, bow leg, and flat foot, which are the deformities of your leg, will be also be told or will be presented to you in this lecture. Yes. So to start with, posture. So posture is a position of individual's body when standing, sitting, walking, sleeping, etc. So at what position? So there's no comfort rigid standard of body position. So for example, if you're standing, so how an individual needs to be standing? Okay, that is what the position of the spine. You can see here the vertical column here. Yeah, is a vertebral column. So whenever you're standing, the position should be erect. Okay, we will be discussing in detail, but posture is basically a position of individual, how you are standing, how you're sitting, walking, running. So it's a position of how you are doing a particular activity with regards to sitting, walking, sleeping, even running. But running, we will be not be focusing on. We will be just focusing on these three, or mostly sitting, standing, and walking. Yeah. So these are the and lifting. So these are the only four which we will be focusing on. And what are deformities? So deformity is basically a malformation of any component of body part, a joint or the body. So D itself formation is a good thing, and D is opposite actually. D is something malformation or malfunctioning of particular component of the body or the joint of the body. Yes. So here, just to give you a brief idea about what our vertebral column looks like. So you will be having one, two, three, four sections of your basically three sections, that is cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. And in cervical, there are a vertebral column. There are cervical C1, C2. So when you go to a chiropractor or a physiotherapist or a doctor, he will be telling you which location, if any problem, he will give you the coding with regards to C1, C2, C2, C2L, so like that. So that is basically something is been put into the paper with regards to say coding like C. You should know that C means cervical. So it will be C1 deformity or something. Okay. So doctor will be diagnosing you with some other. He will be coding in that. So initially it is written as C1, C2, thoracic, then lumbar. Lumbar is the lower back. Thoracic is the mid back, wherein most of our organs, all of the organs are like most apart from heart, sorry, apart from your brain, kidney, heart, lung, okay, stomach, all lies between your in at almost the thoracic region, and lumbar region is your lower back, wherein your kidneys are there, uh, and your all other reproductive organ and all those inside the lumbar region. Sacrum is a sit bone also called. So that is a tail. Then we have coccyx, that is tailbone. Just beneath, just above the tailbone is our sacrum. So this is what the structure of a spine looks like. Yeah. So now, when we talk about deformities, uh, our body posture has its own function. Now, if you see here the anatomical structure, here we have a skeletal, all these bones are there, here's the muscles, and the whole body, outer layer, and all those things. Now, these bones are being supported by this muscle. So they play muscles play a very important role when we talk about bone functioning or bone movement functioning. So like if you want to walk, you need to use the muscles along with your bone or joint. Without muscle, so that is the reason. First and foremost, the postural deformities come into play when you have a weaker muscle. That you need to understand. Once there is a weaker muscle, then the body tries to adjust here and there so that the with regards to the functioning of the muscle or the joint functioning becomes normal. So during that process, what happens? Trying to adjust to the demand, the body tries to adjust and form some deformity in the spine or some other structure, which we will be discussing. So the core content, the core essence of this postural deformity, why it occurs, is basically most probably due to muscle imbalance or due to weakening or less strength in the muscle as the demand as per your demand. So also there are other causes also which we will be discussing, like you might be hereditary also, it might be some accidental also. So, but majorly, if your muscles are weak, you are prone to get postural deformity. So see that hereditary, most of the time hereditary is the postural deformity come into play, but at the later stage, muscle strengthening, muscle balance correction is what we focus on when you get this deformity to correct or reverse this deformity. Yeah. So also, if you have a deformity, your internal organs also get affected. For example, here is your critical organ heart. Yeah, you can see here. I'll just open the notation. Here is your heart. Here is your vertebral column just behind. Okay, so here is your heart at this region. So now, say for example, your vertebral column has some deformity. It might be bent back, forward, and say this might be here like this, which we will be discussing, that is scoliosis. What actually will happen is that it will try to affect your internal organs also. So very much careful that if you feel something is hurting you or poking you or some abnormality is happening with regards to your functioning of your day-to-day activities. First and foremost, if you're in college, you can directly consult your college director of physical education or instructor in physical education to check upon your posture. Okay. And once they check, you can go to a doctor or a physiotherapist or a chiropractor who will assess you and recommend you more exercises. Okay, or exercises or correction measure on some manipulations they will be trying to do on your spine or joints of your body. So first thing, if you feel something, so deformities can lead to problem if it is not diagnosed or it is being ignored at the initial stage. Once it is initial stage, it is recognized the deformity is that we have a greater chance of reversibility. Once it is delayed, because bone is very rigid. Once it takes its shape, it's very much difficult to bring it back to its normal position. You might need surgery also at a worse and worse situation. So we should not go for the surgery. We should see that before that itself, the things are sorted with regards to any deformity you feel, any pinching, any abnormality you feel. Just consult as soon as possible your college director, or if you're in school, physical education teacher, or also instructor in physical education. Those people are having a greater observation. They have seen, they have the core essence of what posture is. First, the theoretical part is there in the syllabus itself when they pursue their degree. So you can consult them. If you don't have those accessibility, then go to a chiropractor, physiotherapy, or a orthopedic doctor who can access you more better. Yeah. So moving on. So this is the part that you see that your muscle growth is appropriate. Like you keep your balance between your both the muscle group. For example, if you're doing biceps, they don't do only one arm bicep. Train both the arms. Yeah. So it might so like that. Even the legs. Even if you're doing chest, you also do your back muscles also for your back also. So you keep this ratio of agonist. Okay. So if your chest is your agonist, the opposite of that is antagonist. That is the back muscle or the latissimus dorsi we call it. So you have to train or you have to work both the part of the muscle. Yeah? Then it will be you will be having a good posture as well as you will not be very much prone to getting postural deformities. So when you are training, young group here who are going to gym, see that your training program is such a way that you are balancing all your muscle groups. Yeah, it should not be untrained. One part should never be untrained. You concentrate on all the muscle groups. Okay, and then focus on particular muscle group and give it a time to recover and rest. Don't overload a particular group of muscles always. Yeah, and there's a tendency that students they will be doing more of biceps or chest, and then legs is been ignored. Then you get a deformity of your legs and so on and so forth. So very much clear that whenever you try to train, also see that the uniformity or the training principles is maintained with regards to maintaining the ratio of agonist and antagonist. Yeah. Yeah. So moving forward, so what is the correct posture? So we will know, or we are sitting here. Most of them are sitting and watching this lecture. So now, see that whenever you're sitting, you are sitting. Your back is touching the back part of the chair, resting on the back part, looking at the screen. Okay, and if possible, the degree which I will be explaining in detail, it will be almost correct. Your neck will be straight. Your back is here straight. So this is what a sitting posture looks like. Even when you're lifting something from the ground, see that your back is straight, knee is flat, and you are lifting the weight. Okay, anyways, it might be a pen, it might be a pencil, or it might be a load of 100 kilo or say 50 kilo. So always bend your knee, and so we will be discussing in detail. Also, standing posture, always keep your spine erect. That is what the basic concept is. To keep your spine or your back straight is the basic fundamental for any posture. Yeah. So once your spine is straight, most of your things will be correctly managed. So keep your spine straight. So like walking also. So walking there is a single support phase, double support phase. Basically, double support phase is basically when both the feet are on the ground. Single support there is wherein only one part or one foot is in air. So now when you're walking also, your heel ball toe. First you touch your heel, then the ball of the foot, then the cycle is repeated. So we will be discussing in detail in the upcoming class. So what usually we do? What usually we do? This is what we usually do. We will be sitting in cross like a band position. Like it will be a curve here. Yeah, it will lead to a cervical problem. Your thoracic region cervical problem. Neck overloaded. When you're bending also, see again there is a curve. Also standing also you might be looking down or up. Also walking also again looking down or up. So there are some deformities happening. So not focusing on the thing, the basic concept here is to keep your spine erect as much possible. So we will be taking up one by one what correct posture of standing sitting is. But before that, you see that anything to keep your spine as much straight as possible. Yeah, the back as much straight as possible. Okay, so erect it will be as here you can see. Yeah. So we starting with the standing posture. So we'll just talk about standing posture in detail. So balance, first of all, balance on ball of the foot with weight on the outer side. So when you're standing, your feet, it should be on your ball of your feet. The weight of the it should be on the ball of your feet, and also it should be on outer side, both outer side. Okay, so that your center of gravity, your line of gravity is maintained. Okay, your whole body weight is almost distributed to both the sides. Yeah, there are a force happening. The gravitational pull is happening when you are standing also. So when you do that, you are just balancing or countering that part also. So it should always be the base of support. When we talk about base of support, it will be just under your line of gravity. So you can see here the graph here or line here called a line of gravity and center of gravity here. So just I will open the annotation. So always see that you are placing your foot at the mid, that is at the line of the gravity. And this is the line of gravity, the dotted line. Here always you keep. So here is ankle joint, knee joint, your center of gravity. Okay. So these are the all things you need to maintain, that you should keep these things as like your leg placement should be just below your line of gravity. Yeah. So moving forward, stand with chin in and look in front. So your this chin should go in. Yeah, always in. Yeah, and look in front. Almost say 5 to 6 meters, 5 to 8 meters. What we always usually suggest. Yeah, so always watch 5 to 6 meters ahead and walk or look. Basically. So what will happen if you do look down? If you look here down, what tendency will happen, that your head also will be tilting little down. If you go little down, your head also will be going down, and your this curvature will be like this. So putting load on this part of your neck. So always look forward and see that you're keeping your head or chin in and chest out. So shoulders should always be relaxed, stomach should be flatter, and draw in and buttocks in. Yeah. So these are the what your thing should be, and tucked in and knee straight. This is what your standing posture should look like. So you are standing on the ball of the foot, the outer side of the foot. Basically, you are balancing on the both the sides and placing at just below the line of gravity. Okay. And also stand tall with your chin inside. Chin should be going inside and looking in front, and shoulders will be back. Back should be back and relaxed. Okay, stomach flat, so and tucked in, and knee should be straight when you're standing. Now, one thing basically what we do is we do not stand. We usually stand one leg on one leg sometimes. If you are standing for a prolonged period of time, you can shift from one leg to another leg so that you don't get tired fast. So you can change that time, but don't make it a habit that whenever standing, don't stand it on one leg. Always stand place on the both the legs. But if you are standing for a longer period of time, you see that every 2 minutes you just shift weight from one leg to another leg for 5 minutes, whatever is appropriate. So that way you manage, and always be in relaxed posture. Don't strain any of your part or any of your muscle. Yes, this is, I think so. This is clear. So moving forward, the next is sitting posture. So sitting posture we'll discuss. So most of our studies happen by sitting posture, attending the classes in sitting posture. So even watching TV. So we do almost our 60 to 70% thing sitting only. Yeah. So keep your trunk straight. Do not allow to be curved. So that is what we usually should be doing. Your trunk should be straight. That is, your back should be straight, as I told you before. So just I will show you with the annotation. Yeah. So your back is your straight. So back will be straight enough, and bend body at the hip joint. So you should bend here at the hip joint. This is your hip joint. Okay. Bend here. So okay, this is almost 90 degrees, and sit far back to the chair to prevent back trunk position. So now, if you're not touching the back, you are prone to get forward. Okay, you will be getting more forward, and it will lead to some or other deformities. Okay, so that is way, that way it can happen, and sit back as far as possible so that you are balancing or countering the things, and prevent back trunk position. Okay, and do not slump. Do not slump. Let the feet be on the floor. So always see that your feet is on the floor. Yeah, so always see, whenever taking a chair, see that you are balancing. If it is not available, keep a raised toolbox or something raised where you can keep your place. If you don't do that, what will happen? It will be just swaying back, or basically taking you front. This part will be coming front if you are if your feet are not touching on the ground. Yeah, this thing can happen. And let the feet, that is what. So this is what the correct sitting posture is. So I will give you in detail now again. So here you can see, hold on. Yeah, so here you can see the correct sitting posture. So you are just watching on the screen, just around say minimum 20 degrees on perpendicular. Okay, this is what you are typing on a computer, padding in front of your feet, resting on the footrest. So this is what should be followed, and also your arms, you are typing. Okay, this is what things will be. If you are not typing, just keep your arms on your sorry, keep your arms on your lap. So you can keep it here, the flat, keep it here, just relax, or you can just, if you're typing, use this particular angle for prolonged period of time for typing. Yeah, this is what the correct posture of sitting looks like. Yeah. So moving forward, walking posture. So now very important. So most of you we go to walking and all those things. So move your feet parallel forward with natural stride. So what is a natural stride? Natural stride is basically when your ball of the foot touches first, then your heel touches first, then your ball of the foot. Okay, this is here, or you can see it here. I'll just annotate. Yeah, so you can see your first one. This is the first one. So you can see here the heel is touched, the ball is put first, and then loses contact. Then again the heel is touched here. Heel is touched here and placed forward. So heel, ball, toe. Heel, ball, toe. What the sequence will be? So first you place your heel here. So you can see again here. So heel first, then toe comes, then again you lift from there. So what I was talking about, single support phase and double support phase. When both the foot are on the ground, this is called double support phase. Okay, when your one foot is in the air, that is called single support phase. So when you're walking, when you are in double support phase, you are keeping a flat foot in front, and on the toe you will be on the double support phase. When you are in single support phase, you will be flat in front on the foot. So this is what the double support phase and single support phase. So this is double support phase. I just put two double, and this is single support phase where your foot is in the air. One foot is in the air. Yeah, this is what the gait looks like. Yeah. Yeah. Your stride will be not too short, not too long, just under your gravity or center of gravity. We call it will be just below your knee roll. So just a normal thing. It should not be too short or not too long. That's what. If you get it experience, if you are talking, if you are walking abnormally, you get it. If it is too short, yeah. So maintain that it will not be too short or too lengthy also. It might create problem. And look straight ahead. Carry the head tall, shoulder a little forward. So now from changing from as I told you in the standing posture, that you need to be looking in front. So head should be chin should be in shape, flex for walking also. So now you are doing that for walking also. So shoulders little forward so that your arms are swinging naturally, swinging from back to back, side to side in rhythmic. So even your arm position, so you can just see here, even your arms will be going in a rhythmic pattern. Yeah. So it will be like if it is a left hand, then it will be right leg. If it is a right hand, it will be left leg in front. So if your right hand is back, your left leg will be in front. Yeah, left leg will be in front. And if your right hand is back, so this is what the rhythmic pattern it will be following. Yeah. So we might have learned this in the march past if you were in school, if you did march past, or how we usually used to do. Yeah. March past is basically we are raising few years, but walking does not require that much. So this is what enough. This much if you raise is enough to walk. Yeah. Be relaxed. Always be relaxed and never tighten muscles. So basically what happens, we try to constrain or tighten some of the part of the muscles when you are walking. So just try to avoid that. And keep your gait, what is I just now explained you, that single support phase and double support phase as natural, and do not drag your feet. So keep the double support phase and single support phase at par, and do not drag your feet. That's what now new trend that's come up, dragging the feet in the new movie. So just avoid doing that. For fun sake you can do, but on the longer run, please don't do that. Yeah. Going forward. Yeah, hold on. Yes. So bending posture or lifting something from the ground. Okay. So now when you're bending, see that you bend your knee and go down first and foremost. Okay. As you can see in the graph itself. Yeah. So as you can see, sorry, in the picture itself, first person, just try to just avoid this watching. Don't watch it now. So you can see here, you're bending down and going. That's the first part. Very good. Yeah. Secondly, when you're lifting, your back is always in a straight line. So you can see here, it's a straight line here. Okay. And while standing up, make sure you put force from leg muscle. So start with you putting force on your leg muscle. So you are just sitting here. So you put pressure and lift from your thighs, thighs. Lift from your thighs. Yeah. So usually what we usually do. So we usually try to just curve our flexor, this and those things. So putting too much stress on our cervical, putting too much stress on our lumbar region. So creating somewhat injuries you will be very much prone to. Yeah. Lifting lightweight, it's okay, no problem. 10 or pencil, you can just quickly go and do that, but very risky. Always bending your knees, going down is what is correct posture should is. Yeah. So always see that you are going in a bending posture, bending your knees and going down. And when you come up, use your leg muscles, okay, so quadriceps or thigh muscle, and lift it up and stand, look in front, and yeah, this is what the bending or lifting posture looks like. Yes. So hope this is clear. So now, as we completed this sitting, standing, bending, and walking posture, now we will be just moving forward for some of the deformities which we need to address upon. Yeah. So starting with round shoulders. So what is a round shoulder? So round shoulders are round shoulder or arm around shoulder is a postural deformity in which shoulders become rounded, and sometimes they seem to be bent forward. So now you can see in the picture itself, the person, the person in the red mark, yeah, without the strap. So here you can see the arch is there on the back. Yeah. Arch is there. So that time you can see that he has a rounded shoulder. So if you look how to fix the round shoulder, you are at right place. So basically, if you are coming here, if you have a round shoulder, so if you are someone like this, yeah. So here we will be talking about how to correct that. So fix your shoulders without a surgery. Okay, this is reversible. The round shoulder can be reversible. Okay, up till now, if you are at early age, if it is too late, then it is very much rigid because bone takes, as I at least told you, that bone takes it rigid form. Then it's very much difficult to reverse. You might go for surgery also at the later, but initial stage, I think so. At this particular age, let's say 14 to 24, we can have some therapeutic or some manipulations of some muscles or some joints and try to fix the rounded shoulder. So what you have to do, see rounded shoulder exercises given below for treatment of round shoulder. So like what you do Bhujangasana. Okay, there are so many yoga asanas you will be doing. So and also keep stretching when you are standing, keeping looking in front always. And also in market there's something called strap. Okay, there's a round shoulder strap or back strap. So this will also help you to keep your back straight. Okay, upper back straight. So you can use that also if you are diagnosed with bad posture, or doctor might suggest you to go ahead and buy this strap if you are in severe case. But also you do some regular asanas like Bhujangasanas, front bending, okay, and basically you are trying to counter. So now you can just look at me on the screen. So basically what happens, this is your body, you see your finger. So now your curve, it's curved here. Look at me. So now when you do Bhujangasana, so Bhujangasana basically when you lie down and with the arm stretch up. So now what will happen, it will counter the structure. So now I'll just show you in the graph also here. So now your body is like this now, basically like this. Your body is like this. Just imagine this is your body. This is just what is round shoulder is looks like. So what is Bhujangasana? Bhujangasana is basically wherein you lie down in front and with your arm you lift your body up. With your arm you lift your body up so that at last position you reach here. So this is what Bhujangasana is. So you will be lifting and basically you are trying to counter this curve. You will be just pressing it inside. So continuously doing that exercise will help you in say fixing this round shoulder. Yeah. So moving forward. Yeah. So what are the causes of round shoulders? Before we take up, so due to heredity also, as I told you, one of the major cause might be heredity. So if you have, when you're talking about postural deformities, it is sometimes due to heredity also, or by wearing very tight clothes which will be pulling you in front. So that in that case, you should always try to say avoid tight clothes, and also, excuse me. Also, by sitting in improper furniture. So if you don't have a proper say, chair, you might also get prone to those deformities. Yes. So always see that you are sitting your chair, using the chair which is like properly for you only. Then by walking, sitting in bent position. Also, these are also other problems and lack of proper access. So if you have weak muscles at a particular one on the other side, you might tend to get that pull in front. So round shoulders, see that you are keeping your muscles also healthy, doing proper exercises, and it will be reducing. So what are the precautions? Never sit, stand, or walk in bent position. So always look in front. As I told you, looking in front is what is required, 5 to 6 meters, and look forward, chest up. Okay, tuck the chin in. Okay, shoulder relax. So this is what you need to be doing, and use loose fitting clothes. Okay, so this is one of the parts. Basically, girls try to use too much of tight clothes. So try to avoid. Don't try too much of tight. See that with your comfort, uh, keep it little looser. That is better. Better for your blood circulation also. Better for your postural, not getting postural deformities also. And also use proper furniture to sit. So whatever chair you are using, there's something called ergonomic chair. So sitting, standing chair. So all those things, sorry, standing, not standing chair, a sitting chair which is required should be buyed or should be bought up. Okay. Moving forward, so round shoulder we just finished. So now we will be talking about foot deformities. So foot deformity is basically postural deformity at your inner curve of a foot. So if you are seeing your foot, you can see here in the blue part. So this is what, sorry, the normal one, you can see here deformity of the foot. There are three types. There are two types. That is, one is flat foot, and another one is a hollow foot or high arches, or even we call flat feet, fallen arches. So now you can see here, just see here. Yeah. So flat foot, what happens is that your foot has no arch at all. Okay. Foot has no arch at all. So here, basically, if you see the normal foot will be having, this is your normal foot outline. So here, there will be an arch. Okay, arch, and your foot is going down. Okay, this is the outline of your foot. But in case of this flat foot, what is happening is, first of all, your arch is fallen. So it will be flat here. Okay, it will be flat. And your spine, if you see here, the weight or muscle distribution will be curved outward like this. Yeah, your bones will be inside you. Okay, you can see here, it will be curved. From, if you see from back side, your leg will be little curved side. And also, if you put your foot on, say, some water and keep it on the tiles where it is, where you can see your imprint, you see nothing, no gap in between here. Whereas you can see normal foot, there will be a little gap. Yeah, this is what normal foot looks like. And also, the second one is your hollow foot or high arches. Here, this is normal one. This much height of arch is normal. But when the arch is higher than that normal way, we call it higher arches. So you can see your outline or hollow foot or high arch foot. Here, it has gone above the normal one. This is what something normal. Yeah, this is what something normal, but it is going above that. the height of the peak of the curve is going above that. So that is what is called high arches or hollow foot. So these are basically due to it might be due to heredity also. We will be discussing, but most of the time, improper fitting and all those things come into play. If you, so I will be discussing that. So in this, basically in this foot, what happens? Fit person gives complete imprint of his foot sole over the plane surface. That is your flat fit. So when you take an imprint of your foot, it will be giving a flat. There will be no gap in between for a fallen arches. So, but when you talk about hollow foot or high arches, it will be a greater, much more gap will be there. Is what deformities of the foot are. So, first one is fallen foot or sorry, fallen arches, that is for flat foot. The second one is your hollow foot or your high arches. So, this is what basically you have a deformity. So, this is what neutral looks like, and this is what the deformity looks like. So, if you counter these deformities, you can reverse it. Okay. Only there are some exercises you will be trying to strengthen this muscle here. If you are flat foot, there are some insoles coming in your this. So when you are flat foot, there will be very much difficult for you to run. You will be running even if you go for an army training or say army selection. During medical, they will be checking your flat foot. So if you are flat foot, say there will be very much difficult for you to get selected in army or defense, anyway, BSF, or even in police, they see your feet and all those things. So always see that if you are at early stages, this can be reversible. But in later stages, we just try to manipulate with regards to wearing high arch shoes, manipulating the shoe size, so not shoe size, the arch of the shoes. Also wearing some silicone insoles, you get it in the market. Insoles you get that you can wear, and also when we discuss this, the first of the thing, then moving forward, just show you. So causes of flat foot basically is due to weak muscles. Okay, so weak muscles at your foot. Okay, then one of the major causes of obesity. So undue putting up weight, suddenly putting up weight will put more pressure on your leg and your arch because the muscle is big and you put too much of weight. What will happen? It will put more pressure and it will go down. So this is what will happen. Also, using improper shoes. Now, if your instructor in physical education or college director in physical education calls you to play some game, and if you come up with some unwanted shoes which is not appropriate for that particular sport, you are prone to get injured. And also, if you do compete with that shoes only for prolonged period of time, you are prone to get this foot deformity. So always consult or always take advice from your college director of physical education and sports or instructor in physical education for which shoes is best for me. So, for example, if I want to play basketball, which shoes I should be buying, or which type of shoes I will be buying. And if you are playing badminton or cricket, football, so what are the shoes or what are the shoes I should be wearing? You should always take advice if you don't know from professionals like college director of physical education, who among in the college you will be available. If in a school, yes, they take the help of your PE teacher, physical education teacher, or instructor in physical education in college also will help you with shoes of those shoes. So always, even the fitting of the shoes will be proper. If it's too tight, too loose also can create problems. So see that you are taking the shoes after measuring your foot and buying the shoes. Yeah? Carrying heavy weight for a long period of time. So basically, it's not students. If you are putting too much bag weight, like 2 to 3 kilos or more than 5 kilos, or it is more than that. Basically, the workers, okay, the labor workers are almost very much prone to getting flat foot and all if they are carrying for prolonged period of time. In this case, being students, we rarely do much, but early stages now, book weight has been reduced. That is directed by the central government also. So reducing, you should see that you are not putting too much, carrying too much weight for a longer period of time, and also standing for a longer period of time should be avoided. So when you're standing for a longer period of time, you put more pressure. So if there's no option, what you can do after every say 15 minutes, you can just change the foot from one foot to another foot, or you can just walk one step back forward, so that you will be feeling relaxed and you will be not putting too much pressure on one particular point or joint. Yeah. So precaution, wear the proper shoes, as I told you, and obesity. See, you're checking upon your weight also. The drastic increase in the weight can lead more pressure on your lower limbs, that is your legs, and putting pressure on the muscles beneath the foot. Okay. High heel shoes, basically a girl, female counterpart, female will be wearing those shoes. High heels. Try to avoid to maximum. Don't wear it. Some functions, okay, fine, but for a prolonged period of time, please avoid those. Also, do not carry, as I told you, heavy weight for a longer period of time. And also, very important, if I think so there are few of the teachers also who are parents, so you can advise them that babies should not be forced to walk at early age. Babies, all they automatically get up when they have to get up. They will be getting up non normal way because they will be walking. So it becomes natural to them walking, standing, sitting. It becomes natural. We should not force them to take the charge early. Okay, slow and steady is the pace always. So babies will not be forced to walk at very early age. Yeah, this is what your foot deformity talks about. So always see that because foot is what we are on time. So all the time, sorry. We are walking, we are doing so many things. Feet is what helps us to mobility, helps for mobility. So it's very much important that you take care of your foot all the time. So moving forward, bow leg. The next deformity of the leg is bow leg. Bow leg is basically the one of the postural deformities, and it is opposite of knock knee, which I will be discussing in the next slide. So in these deformities, knees are widely apart. So you can see here in the picture itself, your gap between the knee is more as compared when you bring your ankle closer. Both your ankle close, your gap between both the knees will be wide apart. Okay. Also, there remains a gap between your knee when the leg person or keeps his feet together. So basically, when you're keeping your feet together, there will be having a longer or bowed arch, like it will be in an arch position. So bow. How is a bow? Bow is like this somewhere, something like this. Okay, straight, and this is bowed, curved like this. So this will be curved. Yeah. So always, so whenever you can notice, just stand still, bring your foot together, and look at your gap between these. If it is too much, like it is both types, then you have a bow leg. But normally there is little gap. There is little gap, but it's not. It's a perpendicular gap, normal gap. So if it is too much, then you're having a bow leg. So if you have bow leg, then difficulty in walking, running, and all those things will happen. Also lifting weights, if you are a bodybuilder and all those weightlifter, then it will be difficult. So what will happen? This usually happens during a childhood because too much of obesity, too much of things like putting too much of pressure in the early childhood. This might create problem for a child or newborn baby or babies basically who are at infant or 1 or 2 years old. So those people might get this bow leg. And also there are few cases that this stays for a prolonged period of time and it leads to adulthood also bow leg will be happening. So what are the basic causes? Rickets. So rickets is basically the problem with regards to your bone formation, which basically at your early age when the bone becomes fragile, it will take the shape. It will not be forming in proper way due to deficiency in vitamin D. The bone becomes fragile and it will be in an abnormal shape. So that time bone leg is you're getting improper way of walking. So as I discussed, how to walk. If you're walking not in that particular way, you are prone to get obesity. Try to avoid and using defaulted footwear, so abnormal footwear, and forcing babies to walk at early age is also one of the causes. So always what you do, you see that don't carry heavy weight in childhood also. To see that your book weight is less. Babies will not be forced and keep balanced diet as we discussed in the previous section of previous module. What is the balanced diet and all those things? You follow that and keep that energy balance equal and always walk properly as discussed in the previous slide and use good quality shoes. For recommendation, you can ask if you're in college, your college director of physical education support or your instructor in physical education. Yeah. So knock knee. Next one is knock-me, another deformity of the leg, wherein when you try to bring your both the feet together, your ankles together, basically, in some of southern position we call, no? Your knees will be touching each other. So there your thighs even will be touching together. So it's also called as genovalgum, the postural deformity in which the legs are bent inward and knees strike each other while walking or running. Even while walking, you will be striking. So if you are going for army training also, or say army selection also, in medical they will be checking your flat foot, even they will be checking your knock knee also. So if you are having knock knee, they will always try to avoid it because uh, it requires tremendous amount of fitness or running when you go to join army and all, and it will be causing you problem. Yeah. So at early age, so when we talk about rickets also, knocking also, rickets is one of the problems. Obesity during childhood, if you are overweight during childhood, your body alignment will be weaker. Also, muscular or ligament weakness at early age can also be one of the causes. Fracture or injuries or the accident happens. It has been kept like not in a what is it? Malnourished or not malnourished, malunion we call it. It is not properly plastered or that the alignment during the surgery is not properly done. If you don't go to a professional doctor, okay, who is an orthopedic, and you try to do a jugaad or try to go for some non-professional people who would try to fix your fracture and all those things, that time also you might get knock knee if it's not done properly. So always advise that you go to a professional if you get an injury. Okay. Lack of balanced diet and flat feet is also one of the causes, because if you have flat feet, your foot will be going inward and so many complications happen. So these are related. Flat foot, knock knees are related to each other. So always see that if you have some of the things problem, you can always consult a doctor as much as possible. If not possible, then as I previously told you, college director will always, college director of sports and physical education will always help you in this regard. So what you need to do? Have a balanced diet taken, and babies should not be forced to walk at early age for any foot problem. Try to avoid. Let them get up on their own. Let them do our activity on their own, so that they can perform proper exercises. Yeah. So moving forward, the next part is your spinal curvature or spine. So this is very very critical. At growing age, all postural deformities will create a problem, but major problem will be created or health problem will be created by your spinal curvature or deformities. Because here, very important nerve, that is spinal cord, is running inside this spinal cord. So this vertebral column. So here you can see, if you see an anatomy of a spinal, here from inside there is spinal cord running, or not here. Yeah? So once this becomes difficult, this is nerve sending. Basically, spinal cord basically sends signals from the brain to your lower limb. So if that is agitated, some deformity happens at this, then there will be some numbness. So many complications happen once you have spinal deformity. So it's always critical that if you feel after this lecture, you need to check upon your posture deformity. Go to your college director of physical education or instructor in physical education. Ask him, sir, please check my posture. Do I have any problem? First thing and foremost, you should do that. Okay. If you have, then he will suggest you. If very much professional in understanding this structure, he knows that if you diagnose you with any of the problem, please consult and start doing those rehab exercises or exercises which is recommended for reversing the spinal curvature. As soon as possible you do that, the reversible chances become more easier or more happening. If you do not do that, it can lead in such a case where you might need to go for a surgery to reverse the problem. Yeah, this is what importance of spinal curvature can lead to problem, spinal deformity. So first one is your kyphosis. So I will just open this. So kyphosis is what? It's something called rounded shoulder also. Something looks like rounded shoulder, but in rounded shoulder, what happens is shoulders are fully rounded back. But here, what happens in kyphosis is forward rounding of a upper back. Okay, some rounding in normal term is kyphosis, which is refers to the aggregated. So this degree is more. In rounded shoulder, the degree is little less, but your shoulders and all are back. So if you see the graph back, but in round shoulder, the degree of will be more than 50 degrees of what normally looks like. Yeah. So I'll just show you. This is what normally the vertebral column is, the angle. Sorry, the angle is. Yeah. So now, just I clear this. This is what the normal looks like. But here it will be increased in the degree of the curvature. So it will be increased here. So here it is little lesser. You can see here. So less degree here, but it increased. So that thing will be increased. The curve will be increased. A tangent. So always see that if you have rounded shoulder or if you have kyphosis, there are some exercises which I will be explaining you. You can do it for reversing. Okay, this deformity is also called a round back or hunchback. So you will be having a hunchback like a camel. Yeah, so that you can have that symptom. Yeah. How to correct this? So there are different postural kyphosis. A round back is a result of bad posture, and it's most common in adolescents and adults, young adults, like age group between 14 to 20. So these are where in 2022, kyphosis is very much prolonged. Now, use of mobile phone, like you can see here, you will be using your phone like this. So keeping your neck down all the time can lead to this kyphosis also. Okay. Also, Cameron kyphosis is in which the front several vertebral bodies become narrower. Genetically, this is due to genetics, and congenital kyphosis means incomplete formation of spine bypass. So these two are basically due to genetics, but other one which is due to your lifestyle. The first one, the round back. So this we cannot do much. The human kyphosis and congenital kyphosis. Excuse me. Excuse me, student. Yeah. So in this part we cannot do much. We can just try to have some exercises, but very much difficult for reversibility. It can lead to surgery, but very rare case of getting the second and the third one. Yeah. So kyphosis, malnourished, weak structure of your bone, carrying heavy loads, improper furniture also. So looking forward all the time, using a mobile phone all the time, putting your neck down and using weak muscles, bending while walking. Also, so when you usually I see students using the phone and walking down. So looking at the phone down and walking, it can lead to kyphosis. Also wearing tight clothes and due to heredity also. So very rare chance of heredity, but you might get some heredity also. So most of the kyphosis that is you get from heredity also. So be careful. As soon as possible to detect, try and consult a professional and try to reverse it. So the main thing is, as soon as you get it diagnosed, you will be facing some problem, say stretching or something or other with regards to spine. As soon as you notice that, you just go and consult. What doctor will be doing? Doctor will be doing an X-ray. X-ray is just enough evidence to give you that he has a spinal curvature. Later part, he might ask you for doing some MRI if your muscle structure or somewhere and somewhat you want to check upon more. But X-ray will be a good enough evidence or diagnosis tool which will give you a appropriate result of showing whether you have kyphosis or not. Yeah. So the precautions what you have to do: adopt correct posture while sitting, standing, walking, and wear loose clothes and use stable furniture, which is ergonomically certified. So those things will be good. So exercises for kyphosis, these are the 6 exercises which I can recommend you. That one is garland, second one is bow, Dhanurasana we call it, cow and cat position, or camel position we call it, or camel position and bridge. So these are the most recommended ones for reversing kyphosis. You do it for 6 weeks, say 6 to 10 weeks. It will slowly show some changes, and keep on doing till you feel better. And also, doing these exercises will always be beneficial for a longer time. So always continue doing this throughout your lifestyle. So if you have a kyphosis. Yeah. Moving forward, scoliosis. So scoliosis is basically the posterior deformity related to spine that which we are discussing. Scoliosis is a sideways curvature or lateral. So now you can see here, basically the spine will be straight here. If you see from the back, it will be straight like this. Yeah, you see the red mark. It will be almost straight like this. But if scoliosis, what happens? It will be laterally on the left, going the spine will be going left, or it might be in the right also. Some cases it is on the right also, right curvature. So this happens mostly during the growth spurt, during your age of puberty, 9 to 14 years, when you are growing. That time you are prone to get scoliosis. If it is diagnosed at that particular age, then it actually it gets balanced, but sometimes the scoliosis remains even in your later adulthood also. So that time problem, but during a growth stage, it can be reversible effect. But once you have crossed 24, if you have scoliosis, it will not create any much problem, because once that will become rigid and will not have any harm. If it is not creating any problem, you can still stay with the scoliosis if you have mild scoliosis. But if you have severe angle, more degree, then it might affect your internal organ, which is in the thoracic region. Yeah. So that time you see that you are consulting a good doctor to give you a proper treatment. So it is an S shape. The normal spine is straight like this, and normal spine is straight like this, but scoliosis will be scoliosis will be something curved. It will be in a S shape, S, right, or even left. Right. Yeah. Look, and any among them. So it will be a S-shape curve of the lateral bending, basically. Lateral side it will be curved. This is what scoliosis is. So moving forward, we're talking about regarding the causes, birth defects, wear and tear in the spine due to injury, due to fall, due to weak muscle type, and doing severe load. So basically, if you are carrying one-sided body weight, at the growth spurt, if you are side back, so using a side back for a longer period of time, it might create different leg length. This is very critical. If you have a two legs, different height, length of the leg is different, then little problem. For example, if you have one leg, say 70 centimeters, and other leg say 80 centimeters. It will not be that much. It will be around 1 or 2 centimeters more and less or more. That time, what will happen is that your hip joint here. So here, what will happen? It will try to adjust and make your spine little curve to adjust the downfall. So what you have to do? If you are having one leg bigger or smaller, you wear a heighted waist foot one side, so it becomes balanced. So doctor will be giving a proper footwear also. So raised footwear we wear one sided, so that it becomes normal. So you can look at your camera here. Look at me. So the foot will be here, one will be up and one will be down. What the doctor will suggest you to wear one which is lower, so wear little high heels. Yeah, so high heels equals normal, and your spine will also be normally aligned. Yeah. So what that is what if you having a one or other leg different. Lifting weight towards one side, so always that I told you, if you're using side bags, like cricketers or even table tennis players, tennis players, you are using your bag, one-sided bag, and going for a training like bending your at early age, it might lead to the scoliosis. And also wrong standing posture, standing on one leg. Yeah, that will also be creating problem, and unsuitable furniture, like sitting on one side. So many things can be causes of this scoliosis. So how to prevent that? Never walk for a long time with carrying weight on one side. So if you are trying, a side bag is just to shift from one side to another, you shift the balance. Must always stand in correct posture and use suitable furniture, and balance will be taken, and balanced diet will be taken actually. I just missing the diet part, and studies should be avoided in sideways bending position. So when I was studying, see that you are sitting in a normal structure as discussed in the sitting posture position. So usually what is happened, like, look at me in the camera. So we will be studying like bending posture and studying. So try to avoid that because it might create problems for your spine. Yeah, this is what all about scoliosis. So moving forward, so these are some of the scoliosis exercises. You can do Trikonasana, Uttarasana, even Supta, Matsyendrasana, Janushirtasana, and also Kumbhakasana for improving or trying to reverse the scoliosis part. So whichever side is the curve, try to do it opposite side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the last one among the spinal deformity is lordosis. So you can see here, lordosis is also one of the postural deformity of the lumbar spine. So at the lower back, you can see it in the picture itself. Yeah. So what will happen here is you will be having a curve type at the lower region. So abdomen, wherein your kidneys and all are staying. So lordosis causes an unusual large inward arch of the lower back. So this is your lower back. It will be an inward, gone inward. You can see here it has gone inward. The degree is from as compared to here. So this here degree is a little lower. Yeah. So it will be gone inside. So what will happen? What is happening is this is your spine straight. Now your spine comes here and it will be curved inward. Yeah? Curved inward. This is the lordosis. So this curving inward or swaying inside, inward curve of the lower back is called lordosis. So L lumbar lordosis, like that you can remember. Yeah. So you can have cervical lordosis also, like here it can be going inside. So cervical lordosis basically talks about the curve going inward. So kyphosis is inward bending or outward bending of at the thoracic region or cervical region, and lordosis is basically the inward curvature at the lower or lumbar region. In children, lordosis often fixes itself, but some adults with lordosis may need physiotherapy. And if you have lordosis, or we say pelvic tilt, front pelvic tilt, so you will be having back problem, lifting problem. So if you have those problems, try to consult a doctor and try to minimize the effect or try to reverse it. So there is a manipulation. There are few exercises which I will be telling you, which will reverse like causes before we talk about exercises. So causes: improper diet, improper development of muscle, like one side developed, one side didn't develop. I told you in the previous section. Taking more food, obesity, overweight, and disease of spinal muscles also can be a cause of lordosis. So if you have a back pain or fallen on the back, so that can also lead to lordosis. So what we should be doing: take a balanced diet, stand correct posture, never have excessive food, and maintain your weight. That's what means. Don't go for obese. Try to check up on your weight all the time. So because lordosis is basically stomach at the lumbar region. No? If you have too much stomach inside up front, like I just showed you here, give you an example. So if you are here, your body is structurally like this. If you develop, say, stomach inside, you become obese. Now the center of gravity changes and you will be always be pulled in front, and continuously pulling, your spine will be little more in front, going in front, and you will be creating a lordosis. This is what due to obesity. If you have a stomach, will be very much prone to get lordosis also. To see that, check upon your weight. If you have a tummy, try to reduce, go and do workout. And as previously we discussed about nutrition, physical fitness training, all those things you follow, and everything will be fine. Yeah. So these are the exercises: board posture, full plank, downward facing dog, flow, standing forward, and windrow moving, Pawan Muktasana we call it in yoga. So you can do this yoga asanas for reversing the lordosis part. So it will take time. You have to be patient enough because these deformities are been there, and because bone being very rigid, it will not easily change its shape. So you have to do this exercise for prolonged period of time, say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You can easily do it. But every day there will be some or other effect, micro, but definitely there will be. So don't lose hope. Just try to do those exercises, and it will be very much reversible. Keep yourself fit. That is very much important, and keep your balance structure also. Yeah. This is what we are talking about. And to summarize the whole lecture, we talked about what the correct posture is. So essence of the correct posture is to have a balanced diet and balanced muscle growth, and not trying to put more unwanted load in your stomach or back or sideways movement. So basically, your lifestyle itself. If you have a healthy lifestyle, if you are working well, no, sorry, if you are doing a workout, taking proper rest, taking proper diet, keeping check upon your body weight, and strengthening your muscle, you will be never be getting any postural deformity. Yeah. So if you have postural deformities, try to correct them, try to bring some modification in your lifestyle, do some exercises, and as discussed, that standing posture, all those things you should always follow. So round flat foot, round shoulders, basically the hunchback, flat foot, the deformity at the foot is very critical. It will not allow you to do some running or jumping exercises if you are a fourth person. And spinal deformity is very much critical. And see that once it's detected, you do the exercises for a prolonged period of time, try to reverse it. And always consult a professional, like orthopedic or physiotherapist or a chiropractor, who will try to adjust or manipulate the adjustment. So chiropractor, if you have any postural deformity, try to have a consultation with orthopedic or chiropractor who is more professional in this. Even the physiotherapy will be helping you with some treatment or manipulation. Always go and treat with the professional. Yeah. And also, almost now on an overall basis, keep yourself fit all the time. Follow this course itself is enough for you to give you how you need to be working or being in a life. Like example, first we started with the nutrition concept. So take proper nutrition. Then we talked about we talked about all the nutrition. Then we talked about physical fitness. So in this physical fitness, what all the things. Even we talked about supplementation, and even we talked about injuries, what can happen, how to prevent them, and later on we talked about the last part is the postural deformity. So these are the whole thing we did, wherein we checked upon the entire lifestyle, how it will be active, well balanced diet throughout your lifestyle. So here we come to the end of this session. So thank you very much for your patience listening, and I hope that this course is very much useful, and lectures will be very much useful to bring some modification in your lifestyle and so on and so forth. So thank you very much for your patience listening, and hope the assignment, the quizzes will be shared to you. Hope you do it on time, and next there will be interactive session where we'll be discussing any questions if we have. Yeah, and uh, exams also will be there, so just prepare for that, and it will be very easy objective type. Sachin, the coordinator of the course, will be explaining you the thing. So all the best for your exam. Also, all the best for your upcoming interactive session. Also, not interactive session. Upcoming exams, wherein for your semester exams also, and see that you score well in both the parts. Very simple, and keep your lifestyle active, well balanced diet, and follow this health and nutritional course throughout your life. So with this, I conclude my session. Thank you very much once again for your patience. Thank you very much, everyone. See you soon.